Welcome back to California and Climate 2025. This is episode 10, where we're digging into a huge debate: housing versus climate. How can California build the millions of homes it desperately needs without making climate change even worse? Today, we're unpacking two crucial bills, SB 131 and AB 130, that represent two very different paths forward. And to help us make sense of it all, I'm thrilled to have Dr. Lavra Chun, an urban policy and environmental planning expert from UC Berkeley. Lavra, thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. These two bills are at the heart of California's future. Think of it this way. SB 131 is all about speed. It wants to streamline housing permits, especially for infill housing near public transit in our cities. The goal is to build faster and cheaper. On the other hand, AB 130 is about resilience. It pushes for stricter building codes to make new homes super energy efficient, wildfire-proof, and water-smart. Both are trying to solve massive problems, but they pull in opposite directions.
That's the core tension, isn't it? We need to build, but we also need to build green.
Exactly. The numbers are staggering. California needs an estimated 2.5 million new homes by 2030. But if we just build sprawling, car-dependent suburbs like we did in the past, our climate goals go right out the window. So the big question becomes, can we build more homes and pollute less at the same time?
Let's break that down. First, what's the argument for the build fast approach in SB 131? Supporters say California's building regulations are a tangled mess.
They can delay new housing projects for years, with endless environmental reviews and lawsuits. SB 131 aims to cut through that red tape, especially for projects near train stations or bus lines. The idea is that this not only gets homes built faster, but also fights climate change by reducing our reliance on cars.
So it's really about building smarter, in the right places, not just building more.
That's the key. Urban infill building up, not out, is one of our best climate strategies. It creates denser neighborhoods where people can walk, bike, or take transit. This shortens commutes, slashes vehicle emissions, and makes our cities more vibrant.
Okay, now let's flip to the other side. What's the main argument from the supporters of AB 130?
Their focus is all on the quality and safety of the homes we build. California is facing a future of more intense wildfires, longer droughts, and extreme heat waves. AB 130 says we can't afford to build homes that are vulnerable or wasteful. It mandates things like fire-resistant materials, better insulation, solar panels on every roof, and ultra-efficient water systems. The big hurdle, of course, is that these features add to the upfront cost of construction.
And that brings us to the million-dollar question: affordability versus sustainability. It feels like California is being forced to make an impossible choice.
Yes, that's exactly the challenge policymakers are grappling with. Some ask, what is the point of a perfect green home if no one can afford to buy it? But the other side argues that building climate-resilient homes actually saves money in the long run. We see lower energy bills, fewer losses from disasters, and healthier communities. It's a classic short-term cost versus long-term benefit debate.
Let's make this real for a moment. How does this political tug-of-war actually impact the daily lives of Californians?
People are feeling it from all sides. Housing prices and rents are already sky-high, and some worry that stricter green building codes will push them even higher. But there's a huge upside, too. These policies lead to better air quality in our neighborhoods, lower utility bills in our homes, and a boom in new green jobs. Think about it. Every time we install solar panels, electric heat pumps, or new insulation, we're creating skilled jobs right here in California.
So, in a strange way, the housing and climate crises could actually be a catalyst for innovation.
Absolutely. We're seeing a wave of incredible new technologies. We're talking about low-carbon concrete, recycled steel, and even 3D printed homes that can be built faster and with less waste. AI is being used to design entire neighborhoods for maximum energy efficiency. Cities like San Diego and Oakland are pioneering climate-smart zoning that encourages both density and green spaces like parks and community gardens.
That sounds incredibly promising. But knowing California politics, how are these bills actually being received by the public and by lawmakers?
It's completely split. Developers and affordable housing advocates are largely backing SB 131 for its focus on speed. Environmental groups and many local governments are leaning toward AB 130, insisting that safety and sustainability are non-negotiable. And the public? Most people are caught in the middle. Everyone wants more affordable housing, but nobody wants their neighborhood to change too quickly or lose its environmental protections.
It's the classic California dilemma. Everyone agrees on the destination, but nobody can agree on the map to get there.
You nailed it. And that's why the legislature is trying to find a compromise. Some lawmakers are pushing for hybrid solutions. For example, what if we give fast-track approval, but only to housing projects that meet a high standard of green building?
That seems like a logical middle ground.
It does, but the devil is always in the details. Implementation is everything. California is famous for having world-class ideas, but our enforcement can be inconsistent. Building codes can vary from one county to the next, funding for green initiatives can dry up, and local opposition can stall even the best-laid plans.
It's a real challenge. It's a powerful reminder that climate policy isn't just about science and data. It's deeply social and political.
Absolutely. People's values, their fears about change, and their daily habits, all of these things determine how far and how fast we can move on climate action. That's why clear communication and building public trust are just as important as any new technology.
Before we wrap up, Laura, what's your outlook? Can California solve this puzzle and find a balance between its housing needs and its climate goals?
I'm an optimist. I think we will, but it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. We are entering a new era where every single home we build is a piece of climate policy. Where we build, how we build, and who we build for will shape California's environmental legacy for generations. The solution will require bold leadership, technological breakthroughs, and massive public support for policies that are both ambitious and fair.
That's such a powerful way to frame it. Every home is climate policy. It really is.
The home you live in, the energy it consumes, the materials it's made from, all of it tells a climate story. Our homes are at the front line of this crisis.
Laura, thank you so much for breaking down this incredibly complex issue with such clarity and insight today.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
And to everyone watching, thank you for tuning in to California and Climate 2025. Today, we saw how housing and climate are colliding in policy, politics, and innovation. Join us for our next episode, where we'll investigate why our energy bills just keep rising. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and if you found this conversation valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.